Welcome to Cody Yellowstone Uncovered, a podcast dedicated to exploring the best of Wyoming's Yellowstone country. Ready? Let's go.
Welcome back to Cody Yellowstone Uncovered. We've got a great episode for you today.
You know, when you think of the year 1776, I feel like your mind probably jumps straight to, well, those powdered wigs in Philadelphia.
For sure, yeah. Colonial squares, the Liberty Bell, all of that East Coast imagery.
Exactly. But to truly understand the next 250 years of this country, I mean, you really have to look west.
Right. You have to look at the open plains, the wide open spaces, and just that deeply rooted culture of a place like Cody Yellowstone.
Yeah, that is such a crucial distinction. We are approaching America's 250th birthday in 2026. And while the East Coast has the documents, which are important, obviously, the West really has the living, breathing spirit of the frontier.
It totally does. And for anyone listening right now, you can start planning your ultimate 2026 adventure because as of May 1st, the East Gate to Yellowstone is officially open for the season.
That's right. And Cody is essentially turning itself into a year-long living laboratory of American heritage. Celebrating 2.5 centuries of history, it really requires an environment that actually embodies those exact qualities.
Okay, let's unpack this because looking at the lineup for the celebration, we aren't just talking about your standard summer festival with a few extra flags.
No, definitely not.
We are talking about a completely immersive dive into the physical realities of the frontier, and it really starts in early June with the food and the tools of the trade.
Oh, absolutely. The summer beautifully kicks off by just stepping back in time. You get the authentic sights, the sounds, and especially the tastes of the Old West.
The Frontier Festival and the Chuckwagon Cook-Off on June 6th and 7th really caught my eye.
It's such an incredible event. It's so hands-on and immersive.
And I'll be honest, when I first saw the word cook-off, I pictured like a quaint, modern bake sale. But this is highly competitive, historically accurate cooking.
Oh yeah, it's intense.
I mean, how does a 19th century mobile kitchen actually operate? It's like a modern, high-stakes, competitive cooking show, but infinitely cooler because it uses authentic, historical methods.
It is an absolute marvel of practical engineering, really. The original Chuckwagon was actually invented by a rancher named Charles Goodnight back in 1866.
Wait, really? One guy just invented it?
Yeah. He essentially took a super sturdy army wagon and retrofitted it with a chuck box at the back. It was this sloped cabinet with drawers and shelves that were specifically designed to carry dry goods.
Like beans and coffee and stuff.
Exactly. Coffee, beans, salted meats. And it had to carry all of that over incredibly rough terrain without everything just turning to dust.
Right, because those trails were not smooth.
Not at all. And the door of the box actually folded down to become the cook's workspace. So at the Cody Cook-Off, participants are recreating that exact, highly specific environment.
Wait, so they are actually using the historic methods. I mean, they aren't just using the wagons as like cool background props while cooking on modern propane stoves behind them?
Oh, no, not at all. It is incredibly authentic. They are managing open wood fires and relying entirely on authentic frontier skills. There are wagon demonstrations, live music, local vendors. It's just a massive community event.
That is so cool. I mean, managing an open fire takes tremendous intuition.
It really does.
So why do you think we are so drawn to these deeply rooted traditions of the American West when celebrating a modern national milestone?
Well, I think it comes down to a desire for a tangible physical connection to our past.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know, in our highly digital, rapidly moving modern world, there is just something profoundly grounding about seeing a meal prepared exactly the way it was on the open trail centuries ago.
Right. It really reminds us of the sheer ingenuity required to build a life out here.
Absolutely. When you celebrate 250 years of a nation, you really want to feel the texture of that history.
And that tactile, immersive experience extends far beyond the food. Take the authentic cattle drives and street festival in the nearby town of Meeteetse.
Yes, June 29th. That is such a fantastic short drive from Cody.
Moving cattle is something people usually only watch in movies, but seeing it in action is a totally different reality.
It truly is. It isn't just people shouting and waving their arms around, you know?
Right. It's a beautifully orchestrated system. For you listening, this is where you can experience real ranch life in action.
It really is a living tradition. I mean, visitors just bring their lawn chairs, sit by the historic wooden boardwalks, and watch ranching life function exactly as it has for over a century.
And afterward, the town just grabs dinner at the Elkhorn Bar and Grill, right?
Yeah, the Elkhorn is a classic, and then they stay for the street dance and an outdoor movie night.
It's such a vivid display of how these Western communities rely on each other.
It is. Which perfectly transitions into the broader athletic culture of the West. Building on that endurance of the pioneers, the conversation really accelerates into the high-energy events that showcase the true grit of Western culture.
Oh, absolutely. The adrenaline and the Americana.
Exactly. I'm talking about the rodeo, like the Xtreme Bulls at Stampede Park on June 30th at 6:30 p.m.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That is just pure adrenaline-fueled excitement, right?
Okay.
Top-tier riders testing their true grit against the wildest bulls.
It is electric. And then, of course, there's the Cody Night Rodeo. That runs every single night at 8 p.m. from June through August.
Wow. Every single night.
Every night. It's a family-friendly, fast-paced Cody Yellowstone classic. You've got bull riding, barrel racing, team roping, all under the lights at Stampede Park.
That's incredible. I look at that schedule and it's undeniably thrilling. But isn't a rodeo just like a standard summer staple out there? How does it tie specifically to the 250th anniversary?
That is a really great question. But you have to look at the actual mechanics of the rodeo.
Okay, what do you mean?
Well, you are looking at the literal preservation of 19th century American agricultural skills. Rodeo didn't start as a sport or a show. Team roping, for instance, is exactly how you safely manage cattle on the open range. What's fascinating here is how the athleticism and the sheer focus you see in that arena connect directly to the resilience and unyielding spirit that has defined America over the last 250 years.
That is so true. So when we watch these top-tier riders, we aren't just watching modern extreme sports. We're watching a highly stylized, competitive version of the physical resilience that built the West.
Completely. Celebrating America means celebrating the people who possessed that specific type of fearlessness.
That reframes it entirely for me. It's living history moving at breathtaking speed.
It really is.
But then you have this roaring electric crowd at the rodeo, and the community takes that exact same vibrant spirit and channels it into much quieter, family-focused gatherings right down Main Street.
Yeah, the hometown pride in July is just incredible. It's a completely different vibe, but it carries the same immense regional pride.
Right, like the Cody Heritage Museum Field of Honor.
Yes. From June 14th through July 4th, this is a sweeping, quiet tribute featuring nearly 500 American flags across the museum lawn, the courthouse, and the city park.
500 flags in one place. I mean, the visual impact of that many flags moving in the Wyoming breeze has to be profound.
It is stunning. It brings a real sense of scale to the concept of service. Each flag honors a specific life, a story, and a legacy of service.
It offers a really beautiful moment of reflection in the middle of a very busy summer.
It does. And it sits right alongside the pure, unadulterated joy of the Kitty Parade on July 2nd.
Oh, I love the Kitty Parade. That's at 10 a.m. on Sheridan Avenue, right?
Yep. It is so charming. It's where Cody's youngest patriots take center stage. You see decorated bikes, wagons, and just the most creative costumes.
Which sets the stage perfectly for the main event, the Cody Stampede Parade winding down Sheridan Avenue on July 3rd and 4th at 9:30 a.m.
Oh yeah, it's a massive parade blending traditional Western themes with modern family-friendly entertainment.
It sounds incredible. But, here's where it gets really interesting. When we think of the 250th, we think of massive, flashy fireworks. But isn't a simple gathering like America's Potluck actually a much truer representation of what the American spirit is all about?
I think you are absolutely right. America's Potluck on July 5th is such a powerful, simple, one-day event. It gathers neighbors and visitors to connect and just share stories over food.
Yeah, because think about how a potluck functions. It relies entirely on voluntary contribution.
Exactly. If people don't show up and share what they have, the event simply doesn't exist.
It's like the original social contract. You bring the potato salad, I bring the brisket, and together we have a feast that neither of us could pull off alone.
That is perfectly said.
And that desire for connection and understanding leads us perfectly into the immersive historical exhibits Cody Yellowstone is offering.
Yes, because understanding the nation's history means acknowledging the deeply diverse and meaningful stories that built it.
Right. A prime example is the stage production called Defining Courage, which is playing on July 26th at the Winona Thompson Auditorium.
Defining Courage honors the extraordinary bravery of Japanese-American World War II soldiers.
And the local connection here is so profound because many of these soldiers' families were incarcerated at the nearby Heart Mountain internment camp right there in Wyoming.
Exactly the point we need to focus on. Despite everything happening at home, These soldiers demonstrated unparalleled patriotism. The production really serves as a moving tribute to the ongoing journey toward a meaningful union.
It is an incredible story of moral endurance. It truly broadens the definition of American heroism.
It really does.
And speaking of the physical realities of our history, anyone with an interest in early technology is going to be fascinated by the Arms of the American Revolution exhibit.
Oh, definitely. That is currently open and runs all the way through fall 2027 at the Cody Firearms Museum.
Which is located right inside the Buffalo Bill Center of the West, correct?
Yes, it is. And they have secured incredibly rare loans from Fort Ticonderoga and the Minuteman National Historic Site.
Wow, so it explores the firearms and projectiles of both Patriot and Loyalist forces. It really shows the tangible tools that shaped independence.
It does. It's a highly detailed look at the reality of 1776. And in that very same facility, you have the Buffalo Nation exhibit running through 2028.
A 2-year celebration of the American bison, our national mammal.
Yes. And, if we connect this to the bigger picture, viewing the 250th through these specific historical lenses, from the bison to revolutionary artifacts to WWII heroes, it just creates a much richer, multifaceted understanding of freedom.
I completely agree. Using the bison's story of strength and resilience as a hopeful vision for America's future is just brilliant.
It really is.
And then on top of all that museum history, you have the purely entertaining theatrical history with the Wild West Spectacular.
Now, the Wild West Spectacular is fantastic. It runs from June 17th through August 8th at 7 p.m. at the Cody Theater.
And it's a lively stage production based on the legend of Buffalo Bill Cody himself, right?
Yep. It features action, romance, humor, toe-tapping, dancing, and singing. And for 2026, they've added a special 250th twist.
That sounds like so much fun. I mean, immersing yourself in all this rich history and excitement builds quite an appetite, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. And the everyday ways local businesses are celebrating are just as memorable.
Right. The local economy is leaning right into the heritage, like Cody Craft Brewing's America's 250th Pale Ale.
Oh, that is such a cool idea. It's available throughout 2026, and $1 from every pour supports local fireworks efforts.
It's a craft experience that directly funds the community celebration. I love that.
It's a wonderful way to toast the occasion. And for a full evening of sustenance and heritage, from May through September, you can head over to the Cody Cattle Company. It's an all-ages dinner and show. Doors open at 4:50 p.m., the buffet starts at 5:30, and then at 6:30, you get live music from Ryan Martin and the Triple C Cowboys.
Sounds like a perfect evening.
And they're also weaving special patriotic elements right into the show for the anniversary year.
You know, breaking bread together while listening to live music builds a profound sense of unity. It prepares the community for the more contemplative aspects of the celebration. And when it's time to take a piece of the West home with you, there are places like Latigo and Lace.
Oh, Latigo and Lace is wonderful. On June 29th, and really throughout the summer, they are a perfect stop for browsing a curated collection of antiques.
Right, you can find unique keepsakes to commemorate the trip.
Yeah, you are taking home a tangible piece of the region's heritage.
So what does this all mean? Well, it means you need to mark your calendars. The 250th anniversary is a massive, once-in-a-generation milestone.
It truly is.
You need to spread the word to your friends and family, and most importantly, you need to book your lodging early.
Oh, definitely book early. Cody Yellowstone is going to be the absolute epicenter of Western heritage, and accommodations will fill up incredibly fast.
Because everyone is going to want to be there for these historic celebrations.
Exactly. And as you put your itinerary together, I just want to leave you with a final thought to mull over.
I'd love to hear it.
When you experience America's 250th birthday, not in a massive, sprawling metropolis, but through the deeply personal, community-driven lens of a historic Western town like Cody Yellowstone, consider how that might fundamentally change your perspective on what community and freedom actually look like in our modern era.
That is a phenomenal point. True freedom is lived every single day in the traditions and the wide-open spaces of the West. So pack your red, white, and blue spirit, saddle up for adventure, and thanks for joining us for another episode of Cody Yellowstone Uncovered.
Catch you later, wild ones.